Alright, everyone, and welcome to the SPL transfer rumour update for the 2nd of June. Let's get into it. So, we're starting with Aberdeen, and it's been said that they have banked £5 million from their automatic European qualification, and that is going to be really helpful for their season. They are looking to spend that money, apparently, and that could lead to our first rumour, as they could take back former striker Bojan Miovski, as it is being rumoured that he is on the chopping block at Girona. They want him out, supposedly, but he saying he doesn't want to leave, so it might be a long shot, but there is a rumour that he could be heading back there. So Aberdeen, they've also let a few players go this season. A bit surprisingly, Jack McKenzie was a big part of their start of the season, where they went invincible, of course. And he's already joined Plymouth, who got relegated this season. And Jamie McGrath, of course, has joined Hibs. I think that's a bit of a weird one. He's a good player. When he's on his game, he's a good player. And it's a bit weird that they've let him go, so gotta look out for that one. And then they also let go a 17-year-old up-and-coming player, defender called Timothy Akindeleni. He's left to join QPR in England. It's a bit disappointing for the Scottish youth football. Should be keeping these type of players in the league, and it's just disappointing. Give them a chance. But Aberdeen have made a signing. I think it's a bit of a strange one. I've not seen this guy play, but it's Australian goalkeeper Nick Suman from Cove Rangers from League One. I think I did see him play. I'm not sure if he was in the playoffs against Airdrie, but I didn't think he was that good. So let me know what you guys think of that signing. I am not too big of a fan of it. On to Celtic, and they've released long-serving goalkeeper Scott Bain, and he's been a name in the league for quite a long time, and now he's gathering interest from the Scottish Championship, and that would be very interesting to see if he's still got that kind of level in him. And to see who he goes to, because McGovern's leaving Queen's Park. Maybe he goes there. We'll see. And Kieran Tierney has all but been announced for his return to Celtic, which is exciting. Seeing a player at the caliber of Kieran Tierney. I think he is above the level of most players in the league. You can make exceptions, of course. Dyson Maeda, who he might be teammates with. He's also rumoured to join Fenerbahce this summer. Around £12 million we're looking at. But it could be more, could be less. It's around that kind of region. Stephen Welsh is also being eyed up to leave the club, but by Hungarian side Ferencváros, and they play Champions League football this season, so Celtic could match up against them later on if he decides to leave. Of course, he had a loan spell in Belgium with KV Mechelen, and he was alright there. Celtic are actually interested in 3 attacking options this summer, maybe to replace Dyson Maeda. You got Matthias Kvistgarden, who seems to be the main target. He seems to be the one Celtic are putting all their focus into. I believe he scored 17 goals this season. Could be a big goal threat up top. But they're also trying to sign Mikel Ange Balagwisha, who's more, he could play on the wing. He's not a direct striker like Kvistgarden is. And then 25 goal striker Yusuf El Kakati, Moroccan, I believe. And he told his current club that he's leaving as his contract's expiring in the summer. He just told them, I don't want to sign a new one. So could he be thinking he's going to get this big move to Celtic? And for a free transfer, maybe you take the hit? I don't know. Let me know what you think of their attacking options there. I'd be interested to hear. But yeah. So Dundee Football Club have just announced former Dundee United defender Stephen Presley has taken over the job as their manager, which is not sitting too well with the fans, as you'd expect. He made 100 appearances for Dundee United, and he's taken on the role with their direct rivals. Is quite frankly a bit ridiculous by the board, in my opinion. You've got to wonder what's going on. I mean, I would not want a rival manager taking over my club. I don't know. Tell me what, if you're a Dundee fan, let me know your opinion. I'm begging to know. So Jordan McGee left the club on a free transfer to Motherwell. I think he'll be really good at Motherwell. And of course, Lyle Cameron on a free to join Rangers. And Josh Mulligan also reportedly was in talks with Rangers, but the takeover has momentarily paused the talks. So it's unclear whether he's going there, but now Charlton are stepping up their interest in the young right back. So Dundee fans, maybe get ropey, a bit ropey. Gotta make some signings. I've not seen any rumours yet about signings. If you've got a rumour and you're a Dundee fan, let me know. So Dundee United have started their season by releasing Declan Gallagher, Alan Campbell, who they only signed in January on a free transfer, and Lewis Moult at the end of the season. And you think they've got to try and improve the quality of the squad. They ended the season pretty poorly in the Championship stage. Um, yeah, they offered for Sam Dalby. Now he's gone back to Wrexham, of course, but his contract's expiring, so they've put in a contract offer. But Bolton in the EFL League One have also put in an offer, and you'd expect them to have a bit more money. There's a lot more on offer down in England, so you've really got to think they might put in a better offer than you Dundee United fans. So let me know what you think. Are you going to get Sam Dalby, or should you look elsewhere for a striker? So you're also looking for two loan moves. So one of them, a former St Johnstone loanee, he was there last season, Zach Mitchell. He's a defender. And another one is Yuri Yovu, another defender. He's from Istra, and he's said to be a target as well. So they should be all right if both of them come in. You're bolstering the back line. They'll be stronger. Falkirk are interested in veteran striker Brian Graham of Partick Thistle, and it's because their manager, John McGlynn, is said to be a long-term admirer of the striker. That's pretty interesting. Brian Graham back in the Premiership would be a bit of a sight to see. It's been a while since he's been in, but could he keep banging goals in? He's been very good for Partick Thistle this time, and there is a rumour that he declined being their manager. So, he's staying on for another year, or is he going to join Falkirk? Another bit of Falkirk news is Stephen McGinn rejoined the Bairns, not as a player, he's part of John McGlynn's management team. And that is your Falkirk news. Hearts have had an early start to the season in terms of incomings, as they have signed Elton Kabangu permanently. He was on loan since January, I believe, and he's come in permanently. You've also signed Christian Borchgrevnik, a right back from the Norwegian League, both on undisclosed fees right now. They might get released later on, of course. But as of this moment, we don't know how much they were signed for. Hearts also signed two more players. A goal-scoring winger, he scored 15 goals this season, Alexandros Kizeridis, and a strong defender in Oysen McEntee, who was with Walsall in the League 2 playoffs. So they might be some good signings. Hearts might be up for the fight this season. And another rumour floating about, they are interested in Falkirk's captain, Brad Spencer. After he had a great season last year trying to get Falkirk into the Premiership, and he completed it whilst being the captain. So Hearts fans and Falkirk fans, let me know what you think of that Brad Spencer deal. Would it be good? Of course, Hearts would have to pay for it. He's not on the last year of his contract. Hearts would have to pay. Would Falkirk accept the deal? Hibs have signed Jamie McGrath, of course. It's a strong showing of how they mean to go on this season, especially as they're closing in on the signing of Xavier Simmons from Hull City. He was on loan with Wycombe this season, of course. Watched him play in the League One playoffs, where Wycombe were unfortunate to lose to Charlton in the semi-final. He didn't really stand out too much. I think you could definitely see him doing his role, playing nice passes, but it wasn't too stand out. He's a good player, but they are willing to pay six figures for this player, and I think they've already sent in an offer which is yet to be responded to. Rocky Bushiri's decision on what he's going to be doing is also crucial, as he's offers from the English Championship and from Belgium. Of course, his contract is expiring. What do you guys think he's going to do? And there's also news that Nectar Triantis dropped out of the Australian national team squad due to something being on his mind. And that's during transfer talks of coming back to Hibs from Sunderland, of course, which is it's a bit odd for someone to drop out if they're not going to complete a signing like that. You know, usually they just stay in and sign anyway, so this must be really troubling him. And we'll find out soon enough what is going to happen to him. Kilmarnock have seen two departures so far, with Bobby Wales heading to Wales to join Swansea for next season. He scored 5 goals, I believe, this season, and Swansea thought that was enough to snap him up and take him down into the EFL. And now Innes Cameron is also heading to the EFL. He's going to join Barrow after over a decade at Rugby Park, which is it's a bit sad for the fans. Such a loyal player has decided it's time to move on. But manager Stuart Kettlewell, he has said he hopes to make his first signings as Kilmarnock boss very, very soon. But there's no indication of any targets that Kilmarnock are going for. For Livingston, the only news I have is Matthew Clark has left Livingston. The left back has gone to join Ballymena back in Northern Ireland. Nothing else coming in for Livingston so far. Of course, they are going to have to put in some amount of work to stay in this Premiership this season. And there's no rumours yet. There's a long way to go, but we will stick around with them and see what happens. Motherwell had a lot of loan players leaving the squad at the end of the season, which means the squad is going to be relatively weak right now. And you're going to have to see more players come in to rejuvenate that squad, and there doesn't seem to be too many on their way. Well, they have signed Jordan McGee from Dundee. It's not too much of an exciting deal. You know, it does bolster the defence a little bit. And they've signed Lucas Fadinger from Austria, an attacker, I believe, who I think he only got 1 assist last season as an attacking midfielder. I don't know. That was his only goal contribution. I don't know what he's going to be able to do in the Premiership, of course. But they both came for free, so you got to take what you get. And of course, the main rumour surrounding Motherwell is what Lennon Miller is going to do this summer. He's got interest from absolutely everyone. It's unknown where he will be heading. Will be Celtic, Rangers, Strasbourg, because Chelsea want him, Liverpool, Arsenal, anywhere. But it should be anyone who can meet Motherwell's asking fee of around £8 million. Rangers seem to have the most news so far, as they finally completed their takeover, which means they can try and appoint a manager. And in my personal opinion, what I've been reading into, I believe Davide Ancelotti will be the man that they appoint. Could be Russell Martin or Davide Ancelotti. I'm assuming Davide Ancelotti. Let me know who you want as a manager. It's believed one will be appointed within the next 48 hours since uploading this, so just keep an eye out. Yeah. Rangers released Hadji, Balgan and Lawrence at the end of the season. They all played a role in the squad this season. Quite importantly, maybe Balgan at the back during the Europa League. Hadji was a bit of a ball winner from the wing. And then Rangers trying to make some transfers happen. They were told one of their key targets, Matinho, who centre mid, was going to be £5 million on his price tag. So are we sure Rangers are going to pay that? Not entirely. They're also interested in signing 38-year-old Jamie Vardy, the are believed to be the front runners on that signing, which would be pretty exciting for the league in total. He's been a prime goal scorer in the Premier League, so what would stop him in the Scottish Premiership? And then Largi Ramazani of Leeds, I think he is an exciting player. If he would join the league, he would be rapid. He gets injured a little bit, but he could be exciting. I have seen him play as well. Two departures are maybe expected so far. We have Diamandi being reported interest from Everton, could see an offer of around 10-15 million, which is quite a bit of money for Rangers. And then Robin Proper is probably heading back to 20. He was not being too good for the Rangers, and we could see him make a permanent transfer away from the club yet again. And another one, Ridvan Yilmaz, is expected to get some interest from Besiktas. It's unclear whether an offer will be made or not. St Mirren are the final team for this video, and they have made loanee Roland Idowu a permanent signing to the club. He managed 6 goal contributions for the club last season, and they decided that was enough. They'd seen enough, and they took him up, smacked him on the deal. St Mirren fans, let me know if you think this was a good deal for your club. St Mirren also released 6 players this season, pretty big ones. Richard Taylor wanted by Luton in League One, so I'm not sure if this was like he wouldn't sign the deal, or maybe they just didn't think they needed him. But they do look to be sniffing around the market, as they are reportedly interested in Luton Town striker Bim Peppel, a Canadian who wants to be at the World Cup in 2026 as a Canadian international. And his selling price is believed to be £150,000. So if St Mirren are willing to fork out that amount of money to bring him in and try and get him to the World Cup, it could be a good deal. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll keep reporting.